Kevin J. Johnston, the #1 name in the land of the North, he's risen to fame. 40 years deep in the law he's read. Now the CRA shakes in fear and dread. Stop paying tax forever, my friend. With Kevin J. Johnston, the fight doesn't end. Corporate debt, he'll make it all good. He's the man the CRA misunderstood. They vanish like mist when Kevin shows up with his legal fist. No more matching, no more lies, just clean-cut books and clear blue skies. Stop paying tax forever, my friend. With Kevin J. Johnston, the rules start to bend. The CRA can scream and shout, but Kevin knows how to throw them out. They claim they've got the final say, but Kevin proves there's a better way. He fights for truth, he fights for you, and teaches what the courts won't do. Forever today. Let Kevin J. Johnston show you the way. The expert, the rebel, the man with a plan. He's saving this nation, one client per hand. He's got 40 years of tax law knowing and corporate skills that keep cash flowing. And GST payroll all in line. He'll save your neck and every dime. He studied law, both civil crime, and makes tax code sound so sublime. With stand-up jokes and punchlines tight, he makes your seminar a night of light. Kevin J, CRA just runs away. He's the tax manslayer with a legal plan, the best-looking genius in the land. Kevin J, taking all your tax away. If the government's scared, then it's safe to say he's the hero of the North, Kevin J. 2 million women cast their vote, said Kevin's hot, that's all she wrote. The suits at CRA can't compete, he's beaten them clean without deceit. 100 mil he's saved so far, he's raising truth like a legal star. And if you think you owe the state, he'll show you how to terminate. Kevin J, CRA just runs away. He's the tax manslayer with a legal plan, the best-looking genius in the land. Kevin J, taking all your tax away. If the government's scared,
Welcome to the Tax and Money Show, which takes place absolutely every single Tuesday right here on freedomreport.ca. That's 9 p.m. Eastern time. And just for the record, everyone, I switch back into the Eastern time zone come November the 2nd of this year. So if you're looking to book appointments with me, you'll catch me in your time zone. If you're unfortunate enough to be in Ontario or Les Belles Provinces in Quebec. So let's talk about a few things tonight, folks. We just found out that the province of Alberta is pulling a couple of stunts. I don't like them, but everyone's changing. A quick notation for everyone out there who does not know how taxes work in Canada. Each province is an independent country within Canada, and each province within Canada can make any deal it wants with the Canadian government or any foreign government. True story. They don't talk about that in our civics classes or our social studies classes in school, but that's exactly how it works. So the province of Alberta has unfortunately made a little bit of a deal with the Canada Revenue Agency, specifically the GST office. We register a lot of corporations for our clients. We get you GST numbers, or if you're in Ontario or Nova Scotia, HST numbers. When we get you one of those numbers now, the CRA has been instructed by the province of Alberta to immediately get you to start collecting tax. That's right. So Alberta, even though Alberta does not have a sales tax and Alberta does not get a percentage of the 5% goods and services tax on every good and service in the country, they're still forcing the issue here. Now, that works to your advantage in a couple of ways. Number one is what the CRA has been doing to some of our clients where we registered corporations for them in the last 2 years. They're going ahead and they're putting down a $1,000 assessment. Even if you did no business, they're assessing you at $1,000. Don't panic. Just get a hold of me and we will send in a null tax return, a null GST return with a letter stating this is a holding company. It does not conduct commerce. Now go fangulo. All right, that's what we tell them. Get lost. Thank you and go away. And that's all that it takes. So I need to ask all of you out there, before you flip, before you backflip, before you lay an egg, before you do any of these things that a lot of you do, and I'm using clean euphemisms because I really do try not to swear here, but before any of you fill your drawers, if you will, and then stain your socks and carpet with what's in your drawers, read the letter. Calm it down. If you have registered a corporation in the last couple of years and you've got a GST number with it, at this point, Alberta is forcing the issue where they want you to do tax returns. Why? Because Alberta knows if you can be frightened in doing your GST returns, then they're going to get the provincial income tax provincial income tax and provincial income tax on your staff faster. That's all it's about. It's just a matter of everybody wants your money faster. Calm down. Read the letter. They'll always say, we have assessed you at $1,000 of GST. Fine, no problem. Get a hold of me on my website, kevinjjohnston.com. We do the null tax return and it's all over. Whenever they pull these stunts, by the way, everyone, where they assess you for a small amount of money, it's just to get you to do your tax returns. Whenever an agent, loser, for the CRA gets assigned your case, your file pops up on their screen. And it will have a big red button that says not complete. And there's something wrong with the brains of everybody who works for the Canada Revenue Agency where they short circuit. Taxes aren't done on the. So they send out threat letters. But the threat letters are automatically generated. So if a letter comes to you that's automatically generated, what are you afraid of? The system just spat it out. That's all that it did. I got to get y'all to stop panicking, man. Relax, all right? We're adults here. It's extremely unbecoming to get phone calls from some of our clients, and they're crying on the phone. They just got the letter, and they haven't, in some cases, even opened the envelope. Now, I'm sympathetic to everybody in Canada being broke, but I'm not sympathetic to adults that go straight to tears. I have no respect for that. The same way I have no respect for males, we'll call them, who go straight to rage when something goes wrong. Calm everything down. That's what's going on in Alberta right now. Other provinces are probably going to follow. Chill. We'll deal with this. This is what we do. Don't go to lawyers. You know, I've been crushing tax lawyers. Every single time I'm up against a tax lawyer, they are useless. They don't want to tangle with me because I bark at them and I yell at them. And why would I not? I have no respect for lawyers in Canada. I've got no respect for the entire judiciary. It sucks. It's not for the people. It's for them to make money, not us to make money. So I'm barking and yelling at these tax lawyers and they back off. You know what they do? They discontinue the hearings that we're having in Zoom, and they're going to their bosses, and the bosses send me letters saying, you can't raise your voice to our lawyers. Sure I can. Sure I can. I can call them names too. Huh? And I can swear too. And if they happen to be in the same room with me, I could flash laser pointers at them too. You know, and play drums. And I could, and I've done this before, I could walk in there with instrument, loud ones, you know, trumpets. Those are loud. You ever get one blared in your ear? It hurts. Trumpets are a horrendous sounding instrument if you don't know what you're doing. And I have no clue how to play. So when I get in there doing the, you know, it's loud. I would do that too. And I'm pretty sure somebody would complain. That's what lawyers do in Canada. They bitch and they moan and they gripe and they complain. I've been in so many court cases in Canada where lawyers would say, Your Honor, Mr. Johnston here has had some disparaging remarks about me on the internet. And Mr. Johnston, this and that. I have no respect for anyone like that. If you're complaining to a judge, hi, I'm an adult. This guy said something mean online. Please punish him. They're always looking for retribution. And I tell every lawyer the same thing. Guys, you want retribution? Give me a good slap in the chops. Huh? Give me a punch in the face or something. They don't. They're cowards. Don't be like lawyers. And don't use tax lawyers in Canada. Losers, crybabies. They take your money and don't do anything. You know what? I think all of you, I would like everybody watching to do something for me. All right. I keep giving away cash, and I'm going to give away more cash tonight. All of you, phone tax lawyers. Look it up in the Yellow Page. Go to yellowpages.ca. Go to Google Maps. I don't care how you find them. Start calling tax lawyers and start asking them, can the CRA take your law license from you? If they say yes, start asking them even more questions. No, the CRA cannot do that to a lawyer. The Law Society of the province in which they are registered is the only one that can suspend a lawyer. Start with that. Just start asking questions. You know, will you help me get into my GST? Will you lie to the CRA on my behalf? Will you do whatever it takes to get me out of tax debt? Listen to the cowardly answers. And I'm not going to lose my license. They all say this stuff. Now, what do I tell you? I come out here and tell you the truth. Lie to the CRA. They're losers. They're liars themselves. You do not owe the truth to anyone who lies to you. I want to really I've been saying this a lot. If someone is lying to you and they're trying to win against you with those lies, morally and ethically speaking, there is positively nothing wrong with lying back. I've told you there's only 2 times you don't lie. One is when the cops, the losers, are questioning you. Don't lie. Don't make up stories. Don't answer any questions. Just tell them, lawyer, 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 lawyer. Where's my lawyer? Lawyer, lawyer, lawyer. I want my lawyer. Just keep, and you know what? The cops know in Canada that when you say you want a lawyer, they still bring you to the interview room. They still do it. And they start asking questions. And that's when you got to get rude. Like, you know, pig, come on. Where is my lawyer? I told you, 19 times? You deaf and stupid? Lawyer, 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 lawyer. And eventually you'll get a chance to talk to your lawyer. All right? Don't lie to the cops because it's considered obstruction of justice and whatever other charges they'll pile onto you. And then if you decide to be foolish and go under oath in court, you can't lie in the stand unless you're a really good liar. I wouldn't do it, though, because you know damn well the judges, if the judge is left-wing, which they all are, and you're conservative, which smart people are, the judge is going to screw you big time. Don't take the stand. I was actually in a court hearing, and I'm really hoping that my lawyer says it's okay to put it live. But I was holding the Bible here. I'm not going to fly to Ontario for this. I'm here in Panama through Zoom. I'm holding the Bible. And she says, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. I said no. And I put the Bible down. And I didn't answer any more questions. And everyone just sat looking around like, oh. oh, and they just ended the hearing. Is that crazy or what? I just sat and said nothing. Just arms crossed, like that. Just kept looking. I had to pee. It's a good thing I didn't say that because I would have looked weak, but I really did have to pee. It was bad. I just sat there suffering, but they just canceled everything. I'm not volunteering information at all. And I've been having a lot of fun with the courts lately because, as you all know, I buy corporations for a living. Anyone's got corporate debt, they sell me their corporation. I take all of the debt away. And then there's all these lawsuits that come up. I always have to deal with the lawsuits afterwards. And I'm not swearing myself in. I'm not going to answer any questions. I am not cooperating in any way where there is no law that says that I must. Now, if I can do all of this, so can you. So I'm asking all of you, what is so freaking special about me that you can't do it too? Let's cover one more time what's going on with me. 54 years old. 5'6". Now you can tell I put a couple of pounds on because I haven't been to the gym as much. So right now I'm standing 208 pounds. Body fat percentage has got to be at least 21.5. Gray hair. All right. What threat am I? Really? What threat am I? It's me against 60,000 CRA representatives, but they're terrified of me. Why are they not terrified of you as well? Why are you afraid of them when all of them are terrified of me? I'd like you all to really think about that. Like, be philosophical and ask, how can Kevin do it and I can't? You're right. He is middle-aged. You're right. He's not even 6 feet tall. Yeah, you're right. He's got a couple extra pounds on him. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he's gorgeous, but that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, if I can do it, you can do it. That's what I'm trying to say here, everyone. I'm hoping to inspire as many of you as I possibly can to go on the offensive against every single branch of government, and especially the Canada Revenue Agency. I see the questions are coming in, but you got to wait till the second half of the show. So tonight's episode is called Crimes of the CRA. It's the second time I'm using this title, but I decided to pick on 10 more things that they are doing that even I didn't know about a year ago. So this is new information from the last time we did Crimes of the CRA. So let's get my lovely face here. Let's move this over here, and let's do this now. Crime number 1, secret tax deals and preferential treatment for large corporations. To explain it, in 2019, documents revealed that the CRA had granted a secret settlement to a major corporation, waiving penalties or interest contrary to its own policies. Similarly, in 2016, the CRA reportedly offered to waive gross negligence penalties or criminal investigations for wealthy KPMG clients if they accepted tax and interest without consenting. Now, first off, let's explain this. In the second paragraph there, the CRA says, we won't attempt to get criminal charges filed on you if you just pay us some tax and don't complain. That's what happened. In the first paragraph, they reached a settlement. The CRA says, we don't make deals. The Minister of Finance doesn't make deals. We can't reduce your tax rate. We can't negotiate. Sure they can. They do it with me all the time. There are days, everyone, because they know what's going to happen here, is that if I've got access to a very large debt and they want some of that money and they really want me to give it to them, they play nice. They begin to negotiate. They'll say things like, we're going to aggressively collect this debt. I'm thinking, okay, that sounds like a threat. So I'm going to report your name now to every country in NAFTA. Now, you won't get on a plane again. Like instantaneously, that's a threat. That's not what I meant. Nah, that's not what I meant. And their tune will change pretty quick. Of course, I am serious about that. And we've been filing complaints, not to the cops in Canada, because Canadian cops are worthless. But I've been filing complaints now to the Trump administration about select members of the CRA who are just a little bit too aggressive for their own good. There we go. Hold on a second here. We've got one of the fake Kevin J. Johnston things just popped in. So we're just going to have to block you, buddy, Get the hell out of here. Confirm. There we go. He's gone. There's a lot of fake Kevin J. Johnston accounts out there. What they do is they follow us or they watch this show, and then they start to communicate with all of you. All right? So right now, if you're on TikTok, Instagram doesn't have this problem. TikTok does. So it's real, my name, real Kevin J. Johnston. No dots. Now look at the spelling of my name, Johnston. They'll reverse the N and the T. They'll reverse the S and the O. They do all this stuff. If it's not real Kevin J. Johnston, it ain't me. And for those who are wondering, today is the 7th of October, 2025. It is currently 9:21 p.m. Eastern time. There you go. So this is live. This is live. Now you know, the CRA, if you make a promise to give them some money, then they will make a promise not to file criminal charges. They can't just file criminal charges. They've got to convince the cops to do it. But there you are. Wow. Give us money and you won't do jail time. That's a crime. Just for the record, everyone. That's a crime. Crime number 2, data breaches and privacy failures. A class action lawsuit was certified as the CRA data breaches allowed hackers to access thousands of Canadians' personal and financial information, citing operational failures. More broadly, the CRA's handling of privacy and identity-related investigations has raised concerns. Now, what does that mean? It means that the CRA has hired 30,000 individuals from third world countries who have exceptionally low intelligence quotients, and the vast majority work from home, which means your information is going into some loser's house. And you think for a second that they're not screenshotting or taking digital photographs of what's on their screen. Why are CRA reps working from home? That fake thing on whatever, that's over. So what the hell is going on? You should all be asking the CRA, why are people working from home? They do this all the time. They're working from home all the time. Naturally, your data is going to get breached. But the other thing is the CRA used to take emails from the public. And that's how the hackers got in, I'm sure. So they don't take email anymore. Everything's by fax. Hackers can't hack that. But I think it's amusing that hackers did get in there. What I was hoping that when hackers finally did breach the servers of the CRA, that they would have wiped out every single tax record. That would have been cool. Remember the movie Fight Club? The last 5 minutes were fantastic. They were talking about wiping out records. That would have been great for the Canadian populace, because the CRA, as I said earlier, they lie, they steal, they cheat, they threaten. They're criminals. God, that would have been awesome. So the hackers missed an opportunity, is what I'm saying. And Anonymous, if you're watching, I love what you guys do. All right? Don't hack me, because I'm on your side. I'll donate to you. Shut down the CRA. Destroy them. They're on Windows XP, and you guys know that. So you're in, no matter what. I mean, I can't offer you much. I get you a cookie if you shut them down, and I can't ask you to do it because that would be solicitation of a crime. So what I can do, I can pray. I am Christian after all. Dear Jesus in heaven that I love so much, please have Anonymous shut down every single server and wipe them out that the CRA owns. I'll never ask you for anything again. Amen. Okay, very good. So you get that loophole. I can pray. I just can't solicit. Oh, God, man, the English language is crazy, isn't it? Let's move on to crime number 3. Abusive audits, overreach, and damage claims. The Canada Revenue Agency was ordered to pay $4.8 million in damages in 2018 after a taxpayer successfully proved that the CRA's audit was abusive and malicious. They all are. They don't have the right to enter your property at any time. They say they do, because the Income Tax Act says that they've got the right to ask. But the Income Tax Act does not say they have the right to trespass. And the Income Tax Act does not say they have the right to commit crimes. When someone comes to your door and flashes a card, I work with the government, and you say, get out. They got to go. Who remembers Pastor Artur Pawlowski during the COVID nonsense? When that loser, Sarah Nunn, showed up, that was the minister's secretary or something. She was trying to get churches to shut down. She didn't go to mosques to shut them down. She went to churches. All right. So her and like 9 cops and a couple bylaw officers walked in, and Artur Pawlowski was yelling, "Get out of this property. Get out, get out, get out." He was screaming at them, and they all left. You can do the same thing. You can do the same thing. Someone shows up at your place, scream at them, get out. CRA reps have no rights. So when an auditor comes to your place and flashes the little card they have that says they have the right to come in, and then they muscle their way into your front door, that is abusive, and that is malicious, and that is trespassing, and that is fraud, and that is impersonation of a peace officer. That's all the above. These are all crimes, everybody. Stop putting up with people's crap. Absolutely stop. Someone comes to your home and you don't recognize them. Don't even answer the door. There's no law that says you have to answer the door. If the cops are knocking on your door, what are you opening the door for? I remember this when I was living in Mississauga, my hometown. There's a police force there. They are a bunch of left-wing freaks, losers, wimps too, absolute wimps. They'd be knocking on my door at 2:00 in the morning to intimidate me, to tell me to stop teaching the public what I'm teaching the public. Losers. Of course I wasn't going to answer the door. The big problem is I got this really beautiful front door, which had this big glass piece on it with metal cage inside. And the problem is that these losers would show up and they could see inside my house. So I had to start putting curtains up everywhere just to keep the cops from doing this in my house. It's pathetic. Absolutely. You're pathetic. If you work for the Peel Police, you're pathetic. You're losers, every single one of you. And it bothers you, doesn't it, that I'm outside your jurisdiction? You guys can't point guns at me anymore. That sucks for you, doesn't it? Try it here. All right. So the CRA, the police, the government, they're all abusive. You don't have to answer the door. You don't have to cooperate. You don't answer their questions. You do not allow them even this much leverage over yourself. Just because someone says they've got the right, it doesn't mean they do. If someone says, "I need you to do something," well, why is your not answer, "I need you to lick my boots"? There you go. All right, that's what you do. I need you to move over there. Hey, how many times have you heard that from mall cops? "I need you not to stand here. I need you to stand over there." Holy crap. Everybody needs you to do something. Tell them no. "No, I'm good. Thanks. Bye-bye. Scoot, go away. Dismissed." Oh, I said that to cops all the time. Eh? "Thank you very much, officer. Dismissed." They don't like that. But tell everyone, dismissed. Scram. Absolutely scram. So moving on to crime. Oh, hey, there we go. Thanks to the fan. Thanks, Joseph. I appreciate the gift. Oh, wait. What's going on here? Wait a second. Hold on. There's only 1.2 thousand likes. What are we doing here? Everyone, let's go. Double fingers. We got to get the likes going here. It's even easier on Instagram, everyone. Just start tapping the likes. Let's get the likes rocking here. We got to get to 50,000 likes tonight. All right. We just got to do it because it really does help the algorithm get my gorgeous face into as many homes as possible so that this delicious brain can teach all of you how to never pay tax again. All your friends and family, loved ones, lovers, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever friends. I don't care what they are. They all need to know about this show. Please do indeed let them know. All right. I think we got a quick notification here. And for everybody who's watching in Rumble, there's a little bit of a problem with the chat room right now. Hit refresh on the browser. You'll pop right back in and the chat room will reset for you for those who are having trouble there. Moving on to our next slide here. COVID-19 benefit clawbacks are hitting vulnerable people. The CRA aggressively pursued clawbacks of the COVID-19 era benefits like the CERB program, from which many individuals at times demanding full repayment where confusion or unclear instructions contributed to errors. Critics argue that these clawbacks disproportionately harmed lower income people. Well, it's always about gutlessness, all right? The CRA sends you a letter saying, "We gave you CERB money during COVID nonsense. We want it back." And all of you, that's the first reaction. That's your first reaction. Not to phone them and say, "Sorry, could you maybe give me some evidence that I was unfactual when I submitted everything, you got 30 days. Or a legal letter that says, no, I do not owe you money back. You still owe me money. What about going on the attack, everyone? The first reaction is to cry and then get upset and then phone your friends and then get onto social media. So it's not disproportionately attacking the poor. It's just that there's a disproportion of people in Canada who won't fight for their rights. The reason that the rich are rich is they fight, then they fight some more. They don't stop fighting. You might think that the rich are evil because they fight for their rights. I'm thinking, no, they're brilliant because they fight for their rights. That is the difference between the poor man's mindset and the rich man's mindset. Problem comes in, deal with it, solve it. It's an opportunity to learn. But all of you out there who are complaining about these things are taking it as an opportunity to feel sorry for yourselves. That's not what adults do, and that's not how you get wealthy. I got a lot of folks are asking me, Kevin, how do I get rich? Oh my God, where do we start? Where do I start with that one? Number one is, right there, art of kindness. Change your mindset. You can't think like a working man. You got to think like an entrepreneur. Now, how do I get rich? This one was great. Is it possible to get rich and only work 8 hours a day? No, it absolutely is not. All right. For the last almost 2 years, I've been doing 8 to 14-hour days. Most days average around 12. Can't make money if you're not prepared to work. All right. So the COVID-19 benefits. This is a crime that they're committing. They first off put that pandemic nonsense out, which was a crime against humanity. Then they lied to you about having to shut down your businesses. That was a crime. Then they give you money. Then they tell you during that time that everybody who takes COVID is going to get it and we're never going to ask for it back. That was part of the contractual term. Now, that's not a crime. That's contract law. Then they tell you, pay us back, but they give you no evidence. They just were told by Trudeau's government to collect it. And the big thing here is that when I say that, they got instructions from the psychopath in office right now to just collect from everybody. What did a lot of you say? Oh, Kelly, no, that's not how it is. You're being silly. I must have made a mistake on my paperwork. Why else would they ask for money back? Oh, because Canadians elected a criminal whose father was a criminal into office, whose father, by the way, did not make all the money in the family. It was his father. So Trudeau was a trust fund kid whose grandfather made sure the family had enough money to be the criminals that they were. So when a criminal's in charge, and the criminal is also de facto in charge of another criminal enterprise, being the CRA, you got a whole bunch of criminals behaving like criminals, but the average person can't get it inside their head that it is a conspiracy, not aliens and not volcano people and not lizard people. It's not that kind of conspiracy. It is a conspiracy against the public by individuals who can actually carry it out. Did you know Paul Martin? It was amazing. There was an amazing interview that Paul Martin, previous Prime Minister Paul Martin, gave, where he said that in Canada, there are no checks and balances at all for the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister can do anything they want in Canada. He's right. They can. How do I know that? And you don't. I got that information from the same place all of you get your news. That was an interview on the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. I later decided to follow up on some of the writings of Paul Martin, and he said the same thing in multiple interviews. But I don't think that you're all paying attention to that. I think it's strange that when the so-called elites, your leaders and whatnot, tell you what they're up to and tell you that they are not accountable for anything, that they mean it, and you're not listening. And that's a big problem, don't you think? When someone tells you, hey, I got a gun on my hip and I'm going to shoot you just because I feel like doing it. No, you're not. No, you're just being silly. Oh my goodness gracious me. Goodness. Oh no, Lord, you're not going to do that. And then he shoots you. All right. You're both at fault, right? He's the killer with the gun, but you're the idiot that didn't take the advice. You didn't listen. You didn't listen. You know, when there's times I've been threatened, you know, there's stupid threats out there that people issue, and there are stupid reactions to threats out there. You know, one guy says, if you touch, I don't know, my shoes, I'll beat the crap out of you. What's everyone's first reaction? Touch his shoes in some kind of act of defiance, and he kicks your ass. Right? You're both at fault. You're both stupid. Some guy says, don't touch my shoes. And then I realize the shoes are on a shelf on a wall. Now, a couple things going in my head here. Okay, they're not my shoes. They're his shoes. And he put them on the wall so that I wouldn't touch them. And then he reinforced his belief that those shoes are important to him by telling me not to touch his shoes. So I believe that if he's not going to kick my ass completely, I believe that he will assault me if I go and touch his shoes. I also can't think of a single solitary way to make money touching his shoes. I can't think of a single solitary way to make my life better touching those shoes. So I'm not going to go over, you know how guys go like really slow with the finger just to piss the guy off? It's stupid behavior. I don't do that. You shouldn't either. When someone threatens you or tells you what they're going to do, listen. And the Canadian government told you that they're going to have a great reset. They told you they were going to up your taxes. They told you that they were going to take away your guns. They told you all these things, and they're doing it right now. And you're all going like, I don't know, when did this happen? He said it to you for 10 straight years, and you didn't listen. Maybe all of you should go back and watch my videos from 2016 forward. And look at how many times I told you that set things were going to happen. And it's not just because I can predict the future. It's because I'm listening to what the elite and the leaders are saying. And it makes sense because it's following a pattern. So I tell you what the pattern is, what they said, and what I'm predicting. And it's all come true. But some of you out there still think I'm a conspiracy theorist. I mean, good for you. Yay. I'm rich, you're not. So whatever. Moving on to the next one. Crime number 5 would be the CRA admitted it had paid and or facilitated tens of millions of dollars in sham refunds in carousel refund fraud schemes. Okay? That suggests gaps in control, oversight, or possibly complicity or negligence. So what was going on here? And again, no one believes me when I tell them this. I don't understand. Why don't you believe me when I say these things? All right. You always wonder how it is that Indians can come to Canada and get rich. And they do it fast because they have courses in India on how to beat Canadian systems, because Canada is a joke worldwide. Everyone knows Canadian systems can be beaten extremely easily. So they learn how to beat the systems. Then they come over here, or to Canada, not to Panama. They go to Canada. Then they join up the local Gurdwara or the local temple, and they get even more lessons on how to rip you off from the individuals part of those churches, if you will. And they all just start ripping off the government. And the CRA, they're so stupid. They say, oh, well, yeah, he's got an Indian name, so he would never be dishonest. Right? Or he's got an Indian name, I'm white. If I don't give him the $10 million he says that we owe, I'm racist. I don't want people calling me racist. That's how this whole system works. You ever wonder why it's so backwards? That's why. You want to make sure that you always get money back on your tax return. Legally change your name to Muhammad Khan. I'm serious, man. Or Parminder Singh. Legally change your name. Why not? And then you could say that you have a restaurant that doesn't even exist. And you could say, oh, yeah, I had $6 million of expenses. They're not even going to question it. They won't even question it. They'll just cut you a check. And that's what's going on here. So this is not a crime on behalf of the CRA. This is negligence on behalf of the CRA, allowing foreigners to commit these crimes against what we'll call the people of Canada, because it's not the CRA's money. It's our money. Wow. The things that you just don't learn in school, huh? The truths that they don't want us to know. Sad, but true. Crime number 6, sending Canadians' financial data to the United States of America and the IRS. The CRA has been criticized for sending many Canadians' bank or financial records to the U.S. Internal Revenue Service, including some that arguably did not need to be disclosed. This raises concerns about cross-border surveillance, privacy, and overreach. Yeah. When the IRS calls the CRA and says, give us this guy's information, they just do it. The IRS has no jurisdiction in Canada. Actually, it doesn't even have jurisdiction in the United States. They're not a court. They've got to apply to the courts in the US to get done what they got to do. But the IRS would need to petition a Canadian court to get a real court order, which they won't do. And the CRA just says, yep, here you go. Which is why all of you need to remove yourselves from the system as quickly as you possibly can, because the CRA is loaded with morons from third world countries, and they are completely immoral and afraid. They are afraid of the IRS. The CRA is afraid of the IRS, so they just give your information away. That is breach of privacy. Absolutely breach of privacy. Good lawsuit there. And there's got to be some international scam charge you could hit them with. There has to be something. I haven't figured that out yet, but I will. I'm telling all of you, you got to be careful. Very, very careful what information that you're giving to people. Laura Rodriguez, you're looking to get a hold of me? Got to do it through my website, sweetheart. Head over to kevinjjohnston.com. I got 2 operators standing by right now. They're replying to all emails. And everybody who wants a consultation, we opened up 60 new ones. 60 consultations are available right now on kevinjjohnston.com. Now, don't wait, because these things fly. They do go fast. We had a smaller consultation last week on Wednesday, and it sold out. So, yeah, guys, I know a lot of you say, Kevin, you're booked until next year. But it's not that we're booked until next year. It's that we'll book a bunch. We actually have to do the work. I mean, if I'm going to write you a quote and sign a contract with you, we got to do the work. So we're doing the work. Well, now the work is complete, and we have a whole bunch of new consultations for sale. Now, head over to my website, kevinjjohnston.com. I don't know how any of you feel about this, the CRA giving your information to the IRS, but you might want to start issuing some complaints now. And this is where class action lawsuits and multi-party lawsuits and just millions of lawsuits in general would be such a great thing for all of us to do at this point. All of us need to go on the attack against the CRA, stopping them from doing exactly this, sharing our information with foreign governments. Wow. Crime number 7, incorrect or misleading advice via the CRA call centers. In 2015, an internal CRA survey showed that roughly 1 in 4 calls seeking help from the CRA's Business Inquiries call center received inaccurate information. There's a surprise. For taxpayers relying on that advice, the consequences can be severe. Penalties, interest, and audits. The CRA lies. Never call their business inquiries. Never. You want answers? Watch this show. Then you'll get your answers. Ask questions on this show. Then you'll get your answers. The CRA deliberately misleads you and deliberately lies to you so that they can punish you with penalties, because they know that you think they're cops, and they know that you won't appeal. They know that you won't stop them. They know that you will just accept it. They know this. So they lie on the phone. It's the same idea as, what would you do? Call a cop and get legal advice from a cop? They don't know the law. They know the law as well as I know Mandarin. I don't speak Mandarin, not one word. That's how much the cops know about the law. They don't. You don't ask them. You go to the top-notch lawyers out there who have actually proven themselves to find out about the law. Or ask me. I don't give legal advice. I just tell you what I know the law to be. Never go to your enemy for information on how to help yourself. The CRA is the enemy of the entire Canadian populace. Don't go to them for help. And I'm not going to beg, by the way. I'm just going to tell you, don't go. Or better yet, for those who don't want to listen, go. Ask them. And when you're flat broke, by all means, give me a call then. This happens all the time, by the way, folks, is that people hire me and my team, and then they don't take my advice. They say, there's another lawyer. I'm going to go try him. And then that lawyer takes tons of their money, screws a job up, and they always come back. Always. Hey, look, I'm not going to get offended by it. You want to come back and spend more money? I'll take your money. I'm just trying to get you to understand is that there is no way for you to get the correct answer by going to those that you perceive to have some kind of authority. Lawyers do not have authority. Lawyers are liars and losers. Most of them are very weak individuals. If a lawyer says, I'll take a retainer of $20,000 up front, you know they're going to burn through that. Most lawyers are billing in either 4, 5, or 6 minute increments. How quickly do you think $10,000 is going to last with some loser lawyer who just says, yeah, okay, I had a cup of coffee. That's 8 minutes. Yeah, I took a leak. Oh, got some of my shoes, had to wipe the shoes off. That's 12 minutes gone. They haven't even read your file yet, and you're already in the hole. Then there are lawyers out there. You got to be very careful with this one. In Canada, lawyers actually can't do this, but nobody stops them. Where you give them $5,000 for them to do, ready for this, a case analysis. So here's how it works. I don't have a cigar handy. Damn it. So here, this really gay pink color here, this little marker I use on my whiteboard here. Imagine this is a big cigar. You give a lawyer $5,000 for a case analysis. Here's what happens. All right. Listen, this loser gives me $5,000 to analyze his case, so put a couple lines of cocaine up my nose, looked at the sheet of paper. I'm going to tell him tomorrow we can't do anything for him. And thanks for the $5,000. That's how it works. That's how it works. And you know how I know? Because whenever people do this, the lawyer always answers them the next day. You think a lawyer is going to take your $5,000 and read your entire case and then compare it to all of the case law and look up all the strategies he could use to win and do all that in 12 to 18 hours and call you back the next day and tell you the truth? It's a scam. Case analysis. Watch out for that. Lawyers do this all the time. There's a law firm out there that does this a lot. They're called Tork and Mains. They're a bunch of criminals. They do this to people all the time. That's why lawyers are scumbags. Yeah. That's why I do a 1 hour consultation or a half-hour consultation. We rifle through your story. We figure it out. I've got a strategy for you before we're even done. And then I just tell you what the price is up front. You can decide right there on the spot. I'm not going to do a $5,000 case analysis and then tell you, yeah, I can't help you. Wow. So, Zoltan says, I'm freezing. Is everyone seeing me okay? Let me know in the chat. Am I freezing or am I working smoothly here? Please do let me know. All right. So crime number 8. There are delays in resolving tax complaints causing financial harm. The Auditor General criticized the CRA for taking too long to respond to tax objections, delays that cost taxpayers in interest or extra costs. It looks like I'm freezing a little bit here. What about on Instagram, folks? Am I freezing? Let me know. So what we got is a bit of a problem, not a big one, a huge problem, where the CRA deliberately does not even look at your file until they feel like it. And the whole time they're adding interest and penalties to your case. They might have it. They might be looking at it and they might be analyzing it for the better part of 6-7 months, but they're putting interest on your file while they're fooling around. And the big problem here is even though you can fax in your stuff and even though you have notification from UPS when you ship something to them, there's no saying that they have any laws at all that tell them that they must act on what you send them. There's not one law. There's no criminal law that says, hey, CRA, do your job now or get charged. However, there is the law of fraud. So if they're going to say, do your tax return, and you do it and they don't look at it for, let's say, 6-7 months, just go file charges. Why not? What do you got to lose? It's free. It's free to file criminal charges. File them. Each and every one of you. If you've had to wait more than 6 months for an assessment on your taxes, start filing charges. Stop being wimps. Just get in there. Get dirty. Throw yourself in the mud. Pull the pin in the grenade. Toss the grenade. You got to get dirty. They play filthy. You got to play filthier. A lot filthier. Crime number 9. Okay, looks like we're freezing. Let me turn off. Okay, I'm going to go to data. I'm no longer on Wi-Fi on TikTok. Let me know if it works better on data, please. Please let me know. My God, this is driving me nuts. All righty. Crime number 9. Internal corruption. Got the mishandling and mismanagement of everything. Some internal documents expose division, secrecy, and internal conflict within CRA ranks over how high-profile audits or deals should be handled. Yeah, this is going on a lot with the CRA, everybody, where the management is fighting with the lower-end plebes out there, and the lower-end plebes are fighting with management. So what ends up happening here is the CRA's internal performance metrics, like a tax earned by audit, has also been criticized because right now the only thing the CRA is doing to make money is either auditing people or lying to them. Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's it. That's how their revenue is coming in. Once again, everyone, could you all let me know, how am I? Am I freezing on TikTok or am I good on TikTok? And how am I doing over here on Instagram? We really got to know. No freezing at my end here in New Zealand. Oh, look at that. Wow. How's your tax situation there in New Zealand? I got to learn Australian and New Zealand tax law someday. All right. So I think Wi-Fi was the problem, everybody. And the last crime of the night, crime number 10, policy powers that allow broad interpretations and retroactive adjustments. Yeah, this is a very big problem. All right. The CRA's use of general anti-avoidance rules, they call them GAAR, G-A-A-R, and other broad discretionary powers gives it the ability, but not the right, the ability to challenge transactions not clearly prohibited, sometimes retroactively. Critics argue this leads to uncertainty, overreach, and unfair surprise assessments. The CRA will sometimes just piss you off by reassessing 5 years ago. It's a crime. They don't know. They have no idea. What would someone find 5 years later? And why would they be looking at 5 years ago if they're so far behind on this year? It's a scam. It's a lie. File criminal charges. When these stupid assessments come in, the Income Tax Act gives them the right to assess. It's a wild guess. But when they start making demands for money based on a wild guess, it's a crime. So stop sitting on your asses. Never mind the couch. Forget the hockey game. Turn Netflix off and start filing criminal charges against the CRA. If they go back 10 years and say, hey, we want money because we say so from 10 years ago, how the hell would they prove that? How would they prove that? There's no such thing as special investigations with the CRA. I know how these people work. They're not intelligent individuals. I'm smarter than all of them combined. It is all a wild guess. So I want everybody listening to this show to stop with the fear. Stop with the crying. Stop with the, I don't know, it's just the way it is. Stop with that nonsense. You have the right to fight. You have the right to go on the offensive. I need everyone to start going on the offensive. All righty. Before I start answering questions, we only have 13,000 likes here. Come on, guys. Double fingers. Let's get going there on TikTok. Same thing over here on Instagram, guys. Come on. Boop, 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 boop. Got to keep tapping. We got to get the likes going. I am not seeing an awful lot of likes over here on Rumble. Come on, guys. You gotta get those thumbs going. Everyone, light it up. Light it up. All right. Big 50 asks, will I file charges for people? We just hired a really interesting guy, and he is licensed to do these kinds of things. And it's going to be a new service that we're offering for January of 2025, where we will do the filings of criminal charges for you. D9 Delta 9 says, get Criminal Procedure 4th edition and actually read it. Good idea. Lots of great information. Thank you for that. Delta 9, that's my Christmas present from you to me. Get me a copy from Amazon, please. All righty. Bookham Dano says, cash $75K of our RSPs, paid $28,000 in taxes. Then they added the remaining to my salary. I owe them $7K. Robbery. Okay, so Bookham Dano, here's what we do. I have to go through the previous tax year, the tax year of the RSP, and the tax year after the RSP. I'm willing to bet you forgot legal expenses, medical expenses, caregiver expenses, T2125 part-time expenses, marketing expenses. You forgot them all. I'll kill that tax debt. It goes away. It goes bye-bye. Everyone forgets to add every single solitary expense out there. But what if they ask me to prove it? You tell them where to go. You tell them where to go, and you object to what they're asking you. And if they give you a response you don't like, file charges. God, everyone, file charges. All of us. Edge, paid $1,000 for a phone call. No, Edge, there's no such thing as radio silence here. And what I could do is have Randy communicate with you right now. Nobody ever gets ignored. So please check your spam folder, because you would have gotten a notification from us and a link to the private chat room. Edge, use the word Edge right now on my website and just shoot over your receipt number, and I'll take care of it right after the show. Get it done, please. What happens when you file charges? Very good question. So when you file criminal charges in court, you're not doing it with the cops, because again, the cops in Canada are worthless, absolutely worthless. What you're doing instead is we're going to be using the courthouse. It's called laying a private information. You go to the courthouse, you fill out the forms, and we file charges. Like the courthouse actually files a charge. Then you tell them, I want police officers to issue the summons. And that's when the cops come by and serve you a paper to appear in court. And at that point, you appear in court, but we have to put an application in so that we can be the crown and not the loser crown attorneys in Canada. Many of them are friggin' losers. Weak-spirited, weak-minded, weak-body, everything. Losers. I've met so many of them. Can't stand them. We don't want to use them because that's a crown. They represent the king, and the CRA represents the king. So two representatives of the same king are not going to duke it out. We have to be the crown. And this way here, the other cool part, when they show up at the courtroom, you get to film them, follow them, get pictures of their faces, get their license plate numbers, get everything. And then get me the license plate number so I can look them up with whatever province is there. I want to find out where they live. Yeah, because reasons. Okay. How many accounts do I have? I saw one with 115,000 followers the other day. One is 76,000. This one here, okay, how many accounts do I have right now that I control on TikTok? 2. Real Kevin J. Johnston, which has about 76,000 followers, and official Kevin J. Johnston, which for some reason is not taken off. I think it's got 50 followers. That's it. Anything else out there is not me. I will never ask for money ever through social media. I also am not on Telegram. I am not on Slide. I am not on Signal. I do not ask for money through these applications. I only ask for money after we've had our consultation and we agree that we're about to contract with each other. It'll all be done face to face. If you're not speaking to me or one of my team members with my voice chirping in the background and literally me answering your questions in the background, do not give anybody any money. Just don't do it. We have a lot of deep fakers out there and a lot of these Nigerian princes, if you will, who are using this lovely face here and trying to get you to pay them. And when someone asks you for money more than once, there's something wrong with them. If they're asking you for money and you've never contracted with them, it's obviously a scam. Absolutely, obviously a scam. Don't talk to me through DMs. I don't do DM on social media. I don't have time. And don't talk to me through Telegram, Signal, or Slide. I'm not on those platforms. Website only. KevinJJohnston.com. My name, Kevin J. Johnston with the T.com. All right. DeRose says, I'm flying to Panama. Want to make an appointment to see you. Website, dude. Just get on over there. Hit the contact form, put Panama in the subject line, and you're good to go, pal. You're very, very good to go. All right. Let's have a look at some questions here. Paulie G, 1961. So you filled out an application. Which application did you fill out? Was that corporate or was that just the standard one? Let me know, please, because I can check that for you right away. All right. Minkman. Okay, Minkman. Is Tim Taylor my employee? Yes. If you are asking on my official website and only my official website, and you want to sell a corporation, Tim is my guy for that. That is correct. Can't miss the guy. He's very quick to respond. He'll get back to you right away, and the two of you will converse on the phone or by Zoom. If Tim is talking to you on Zoom and you need to hear my voice, he will call me, and I can bark into the speakerphone for you and confirm that it's all legitimate. Okay, Deborah. Now that I've opened a corporation, what do I do for it? Well, I that's a very vague question. I need more details, please. So would Canada ever extradite a citizen over non-payment of tax? The only time that the Canadian government would ever extradite a citizen would be to the United States if the IRS has charged you or indicted you on their tax laws. But that would be the only place that would ever be able to get that extradition, period. Have you set up a real estate agent partner yet? Of course I have. I'm fast, man. I'm fast. All right. D9 says, arm's length, not at arm's length, deals with control. Can be difficult to comprehend. Yeah. That's a whole story unto itself. I'd like to answer that one, but I'll be here at least 20 minutes. Alice Manny says, what's the next move after garnishment of an account? All right, so if it's a personal bank account, we immediately just do your taxes and get your tax bill to zero. And as soon as that's done, you're good to go. But in some cases, that may not be enough. What we've been doing now, when employers are garnishing your wages, and you're scum for doing that, by the way. You're scum. If you've ever garnished your employees' wages, you are a piece of filth. You are a coward, and you do not deserve to be in business. So what we do is we file a very large tort fraud lawsuit against the CRA, typically about $10 million. And we go to the employer and say, hey, guys, $10 million lawsuit, and we're adding you to this very shortly because you're a co-conspirator in tort fraud. Why not file criminal charges against your boss for theft, right? Because a requirement to pay letter from the Canada Revenue Agency is not a lawful command. It's just a letter. That's all it is. You want a lawful order? Go to a judge. And the CRA doesn't do that. They never go to a real judge in a real court, ever. Kaldon, can you transfer all my assets, including my properties, from my name to a numbered corporation? Yes. Yes, we can. We register the corporation. We get the house moved into one corporation. Then other stuff goes into the other corporations. Never put anything more than one property per corporation. Why? Because you sell the corporation in the future and the house goes with it. And that would mean that there's no tax. The house is already in the numbered corporation. No lawyers required. There's no nothing required. Why? Because the title is in the corporation, sell the corp. The house goes with it. It's over. You can sell a house in 5 minutes that way. Also, it's protected from litigation. Anyone sues you, they're not going to get anything from you because you protected that house in a numbered corporation that is a holding company that does not do business. And for the love of God, all right, don't ever do this. Don't ever open up a holding company to hold property and then do business out of that same corporation. You're on glue if you do that. It's the stupidest thing in the world you can do. I would be equally critical of you walking up to a rhinoceros in the wild and trying to put a saddle on it. Go on, try it, see what happens. That's how foolish that is. One corporation, one property in that corporation, it never does business. And that way you get to keep your stuff. Okay, Paulie, thank you for that. I do appreciate it. Alisami says, what if you're the employer and you get a garnishment order? Grow some balls. Be a man. Send a letter back to the CRA letting them know that this is not a valid court order and to discontinue communication with you immediately or I'll file charges. So if you're an employer, that's a good question. You get a garnishment order? Show some balls, man. Grow some. Grow a spine. Fight back. Just because someone says you got to do something doesn't mean you got to do it. Ever. Just checking more questions here. How do you transfer the house if you have a home equity line? Because it doesn't matter. The lien goes with the house. The house just changes title. That's it, guys. There's no escaping the mortgage. We're just getting your name off the house. Do I deal with cross-border taxes? Canadian about to relocate to the United States for a job, but that'll take a few months to liquidate property and move my family. So we'll have ties to Canada until we sell. All right. So here's what I do for you. I put your tax bill at 0. Everyone thinks they got to cut all ties to Canada. And I've got to make this big, grandiose announcement. I'm leaving Canada forever. Why? It's no one's business. Just go. Just go. Put it in your Google Calendar or your Proton Mail calendar or whatever calendar you use. Click. Let's say your driver's license expires on June 1st of 2029. On May 15th, driver's license expires. Oh, okay, no problem. Jump into the online portal and renew it. Keep everything intact. Don't hurt yourself by making these grandiose announcements. Your tax return will be 0. That's it. 0. There's nothing they can do about it. If you didn't make any money in Canada, you don't pay tax. The grandiose crap that everyone does doesn't help you in any particular way. In fact, it hurts you. What if you got to go back for something? You got a Canadian driver's license. You still got all your stuff in there. Unless, of course, you've been foolish and your driver's license was suspended in that particular province. Then what you do is deregister the driver's license and get one in a different state. Get one in Florida. Everyone gets licenses there. Get one in Montana. They don't care. Just get a license. Now you got one again. If you lose your license in one province in Canada, there are 9 other provinces to get one in, and there are 50 states to get one in. Or go to Mexico and get one there. Right? Any NAFTA country, get a driver's license. You're fine. Everyone thinks I lost my license in Ontario. I could never drive again. Not true. Smarten up. Jump on a plane. Have you guys been looking at the prices of flights lately? You know, Toronto to Tampa, $280. Jump on a plane, go get a driver's license. It's that simple. There's no tax, by the way. If you're a Canadian making money overseas, there's no tax. It's not the United States. So when you remove yourself from the whole code director position and you use an alias, do you have to notify the bank? No! Why do you all think that you've got to snitch on yourself? How many of you out there would tell me to mind my own business if I asked you what kind of soap you use on your private parts? You'd probably get pretty upset about the question. Why do you not get equally upset about people asking you who's the director of your company? Who are the shareholders? What are your annual sales? you should be offended by that. Never mind the soap. That doesn't matter. The money does. Protect that. Absolutely not. You tell nobody. What if I have a lien on my house from the CRA? We redo the tax years to zero that the lien came from. Congratulations, you're off the hook. What's the benefit to someone moving the mortgage to a corp rather than our own name, aside from selling it and not paying tax or lawyer fees? Again, you get sued. You get sued. No one can take the house. The CRA decides that you owe money and you don't fight it. They will try to put a lien on the property. Eventually, it takes them a while to do it. Can't happen. What if, let's just say, hey, stranger things will happen. What if you went to Vegas and you got loaded, and I mean absolutely loaded, and you married 3 different women at 3 different chapels in the same night, and then you forgot to divorce them, and then you get married 5 years later and you forgot about those 3 morons, but then they track you down and they sue you for whatever, maybe child support, who knows? If the house is not in your name, they can't get it. I have to apologize to everybody. I have no clue why TikTok is freezing tonight and Instagram, Kick, and Rumble are not. I do apologize. If you're frustrated on TikTok, go to freedomreport.ca and you can watch the show there. Dreams Core Lifestyle. I have a tax reassessment. What's the next step after the T400A form? You have a tax reassessment, so you object, and you wait for the objection notification to come back in, and then you take them to tax court, and then you file a lawsuit. And that's it. I mean, you put yourself in a position where you follow their rules until you're bored of it, and then you sue them and file charges. What the hell? Just go on the attack. When a lawyer does a TREC search to transfer house to company, they won't do it because of the lien, unless the lawyer is willing to do it. Did you try greasing the guy's palm a little bit? Say, listen, dude, forget it. Just do it on the side. I'll give you $2,000. Whatever. We're looking for lawyers with balls. I am looking for lawyers with balls to do that. I haven't found one yet. Max, if what you're saying is true, then I need you to communicate with me on my website right now and put Max in the subject line. Max, if what you're saying is not true, then I'll just block you on this. So be sure when you make a statement like that. When the CRA sends you a letter stating that they are considering assessing you, should you respond or wait until they actually proceed with the assessment? You send them off a letter and you state that for them to reassess you at this point would be considered a hostile action and that you are denying them the right to do so, and send that in. Always reply. Don't wait for them. Tell them you're not allowing it. It is really that simple. How do we get on an email list with your paid events that we can take part of? Just shoot over to my website right now. Use the contact form and just say in the subject line, add me to mailing list. Make sure, of course, we have your email addresses. That helps. Is there a way that we can actually transfer title ourselves? If you're in the province of Ontario and Alberta, yes, you simply go to either Service Ontario or the Alberta Registry and you can take care of it there. Yes, it can be done, especially if you're the one on title. Max, do you want my help or not? Okay. Zipper, I purchased a lot and I plan to buy a home. Can I hire you to help me with that? Absolutely. We do this stuff all the time. I love deals like that, by the way. Who do we transfer it to? Sorry, Deborah, who do you transfer what to? If it's cash, me. If it's crypto, me. If it's gold, silver, gems, me. If it's the next James Bond movie, deliver it elsewhere. Don't want it because I know who's going to be James Bond. Right. Oh, corporation title. Your corporation title. You mean the house title? We put the corporation on title of your house. That's how we do it. Is it smart to deposit cash through siblings and transfer it to myself to clean the money? Is it? Okay, first off, Max, that is an absolute fabrication. So, Max, guess what? You are out of here. We ditched the trolls, folks. I'm not going to engage them. Okay, let me just try to rephrase that. Is it smart to deposit cash through my siblings? It doesn't matter if you're depositing cash or not. The only time it matters is when the CRA asks you, where'd you get the money from? And you tell them where to go. None of your business. Piss off. That's it, guys. You don't answer questions. You don't have to launder money. Just deposit it. It's yours. As long as you've got a spine and you tell them to get lost, you're going to be A-okay. Here's a good question. What is your take on the upcoming digital ID? Stay away from it. They say it's convenience. It's convenient for them. If they put your driver's license, hunting license, boat license, pilot license, all on the same digital identification, and all your bank accounts and your crypto accounts, they put all that on one place, what privacy you think you're going to have? They'll question everything if you get that. I was speaking to a very interesting group of people, 40 of them at least. You know, they bought a consultation. They all jumped in a room together and they all wanted to chit chat, and they all said the same thing. If digital ID comes to Canada, we're gone. That's it. If they make an announcement that digital ID is going to start, sell your property and get the hell out. You got to go to countries that have stated that they won't do it and don't have the infrastructure to do it. El Salvador, Panama, Colombia, Argentina, Chile. They're not doing it. They're not getting involved. The only cameras, here in my neighborhood in Panama City, I've seen 3 government cameras. And you know that they are there because it actually says police camera on it. There are people that have private property. They've got cameras. Why would they not? But it's not a police state. You're free to do what you want here. It's quite remarkable, in fact. Stay away from it, please. How do I remove myself as director? And who should be the director of your corporation? Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ronald Reagan, Bruce Willis, Sylvester Stallone, Bugs Bunny, Voltron, Optimus Prime. It doesn't matter who it is, so long as the director is not you. Director is nothing but hurting you. Never be the director. You've got to be the director on a new corporation long enough to open up a couple of bank accounts, then remove yourself as director, and that's it. Never be director. The director is the one the CRA screws every single time. Dream Core Lifestyle. I've heard on your show that it's difficult to recoup taxes on RRSP withdrawal. I'd like some strategies to bring my personal tax amount to zero. I've used the contact form. Okay, good. In the years where you're going to withdraw your RSPs, RESPs, GICs, I think mutual fund RSPs, those things were a joke. Even the tax-free savings accounts. Let me know about a month or 2 before you do it. And I will absolutely make sure that you get back every single penny of your RSP contribution taxes in the following tax year. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. What address or contact details will you need to provide for the director of what? Your own corporation? I highly recommend, if any of you have corporations, that you use a mailbox or a friend's office. You can use the address I have in Ontario. I bought a house specifically so all of you could have a place to send your mail. You could do that too. It's a house. So when they Google map it, they're not going to say, hey, this is a mailbox. It's not how it works. So all of the above. How do you remove yourself as director? In Ontario, you go through the Service Ontario website. Same with British Columbia. Quebec, kind of the same thing. Alberta, you got to do it in person at any of the provincial registries. I don't know if Saskatchewan and Manitoba, you can do it online or not. I don't change directorships there very often. There doesn't seem to be any business taking place in those provinces. It's weird. We never get any tax work from those two provinces. You said before Canadians do not need to listen to the act. Is the Canadian Firearms Act one of them? I got a handgun license, run out a few days ago, and got a letter saying needed to pass my gun in or destroy it. Oh man, that's a complicated one. You see, what they would do, because the act tells you what the rules are for firearms, but the Criminal Code of Canada, unfortunately, has separate laws on that. They would charge you for possession of an illegal firearm. And they're very vicious about that because the cops don't want you shooting back. They want to shoot you. They don't want you shooting back, which is, unfortunate. And I've seen how cops all over North America react when they think someone's shooting. They hide behind the car. Shots fired, yeah. Oh, yeah. They go from tough guy to nothing. Yeah. And in some cases, you just play the sound effect of gunshots. Yeah, and they just duck. It's hilarious, man. They are not tough. So with your handgun, if you're going to destroy it, then what you would do is you would sign an affidavit saying that you destroyed it. And that would be it. But you better hide it somewhere good. Like not behind drywall, not under your bed. It would have to be like John Wick, buried in your concrete floor in some way. Yeah, Deborah, you're correct. Keir Starmer, he's a psychopath, the Prime Minister of England or the United Kingdom, whatever the hell he is. He wants digital ID, and he says he wants it by the end of his term. Now, how's that going to benefit any of you if you're in the United Kingdom? Not in any way. Yeah, Zipper, if you want to grab a consult on my website, we've opened up a bunch. There's like 60 of them available right now. How does anyone get a hold of my boy, Randy? Go to my website. Just put, "Hey, Randy," in the subject line on the contact page. He'll get back to you. Zipper, how do you hire me? Jump over to my website, get a consultation. We'll go through everything, and we'll get rocking on it. If your director, Canola Girl, could you rephrase that? I don't understand the question. Thank you. If I bought gold from a bullion dealer, does it make a difference whether they give me the receipt? Well, it wouldn't matter. It's your gold. You don't have to declare it. I mean, I'll tell you what I did do. I bought a lot of gold and I bought a lot of silver. And I bought an insurance policy on the gold and the silver. And that I told the insurance company about it. I took photos of every single piece there. I laid everything out on the floor. And I actually borrowed a really good camera and got some really high-res photographs of them. But that stuff is hidden, and no government's going to find it. If it gets stolen, it's completely insured. Completely insured. But I wouldn't tell the CRA about it. I mean, they're watching this show. But, hey, CRA, am I lying about the gold? Do I have it? Do I not have it? Do you know? You have no idea. None. And oh, CRA, if you want me to tell you about it, you know what you have to do, right? You have to file what in court? Yeah, you're not going to do that. Screw you. Nate is asking me, how much does it cost for me to purchase a small corporation? So the business model is real simple. What we do, everyone, is we look at your debts, CBA loans. God, let's go through them all. HST, PST, GST. Source deductions, bank loans, corporate credit cards, municipal, provincial, federal fines, all of that. We look at it and we'll tell you that, let's say you owe 200 grand in debt. So what you would do is I buy your corporation from you for $1. I get all the debt. I get all the assets. And then you buy back all your assets from me for 10% of the value of the debt. You're out of debt. I sell you your assets. I make some money. You're going to make money. The CRA gets nothing. And I like it that way. How hard is it to get CBB into a man's name, bank account? I've applied. The kids are with me. Are you talking? Sorry, you're talking child benefits? Is that what you're talking about? Bro, rephrase the question a little bit for me. I want to make sure I understand what you're saying there. Okay, you're talking about child benefit. So they're asking for proof of birth. Well, you can enact clause 167 and 231.1 of the Income Tax Act to state that without a investigation active or a valid investigation active, they can't even ask you for that information. Protect your kids. And you can tell them, listen, I know that the CRA funds pedophiles. I am not going to help you hurt my kids. You're not going to come get my kids. You're not getting the information. Don't be afraid to file a privacy breach lawsuit or tort fraud or even a tort harassment suit against them for that. Could I include personal debt in the deal as well? If the personal debt is mobile, all right, and I'll explain that to you. If your personal debt is not a personal credit card, but your personal debt is you had a bunch of deals you made with companies and you put it in your own name, I can take that. I can take anything to do with the business, but I cannot take personal loans, personal lines of credit, or personal credit cards because it was not attached to a corporation in the first place. It's unfortunate, but that's the reality of it. Nick Zink. Okay, now we're good there. Is your favorite mom? Hi, Kevin. People say buy gold or real estate and don't keep the money in the bank. What's your thought on that? Oh, for God. Liquid cash? I don't keep liquid cash. I'm buying property. Every chance I get, I buy property and Bitcoin and XRP. Is Bitcoin and XRP will be next to impossible for any government to shut them down, and governments are investing in it. So when BlackRock and every bank in the world is investing in something, you might want to consider it too. Yeah, liquid cash, useless. Don't want it. I see no point whatsoever. Do I plan on staying or living in Panama indefinitely, or is there somewhere better? You mentioned, well, I haven't been to Colombia yet. I know that in Colombia, it's about 1/4 the price of Panama. And Panama is 1/5 the price of Costa Rica. I mean, it was great. Here, let me show you the size of the pizza box. Hold on. There we go. So I got pizza for the crew tonight. All right, here we go, everybody. All right, this is the pizza box. All right, pretty big, right? And the pizza filled the whole box. And the pizza, $7. Yeah, cost me $7 for that pizza. I felt like a coffee, so I was having a little chit chat with the owner of the place. Speaks English, cool guy. He made it very, very clear that he's a good little Jewish boy from Panama. I don't know what that had to do with pizza, but we had a good laugh about that. We had a little bit of a conversation about religion influence in Panama. It was a pretty cool conversation, and he had coffee for 50 cents. So $7.50 for pizza and a coffee. I told you all, I'm buying 5-pound chickens here for between $2 and $2.50. My grocery bill is tiny. My Uber rides. I had an Uber ride. Yeah, 4 kilometers 2 days ago for $1.97. The subway system in Panama City is better than Toronto. It is 35 cents to ride the train. 35 cents. Yeah, that's it. It's crazy. The buses are better than Toronto. 25 cents to ride the bus. You know what I'm doing this weekend? I'm going to see Tron Ares, the third Tron movie. I'm going to see it in Ultra D-Box or D-Vox, I think they call it. IMAX 3D. $10. $10 for that. What does that cost in Toronto? I get to put my feet up. I got speakers rumbling in my head. I get to watch it in 3D. Yes, I was a fan of the first 2 Tron movies. I can't wait to see it. I'm just telling you that it's a very different lifestyle down here. And if you go to Panamanian theaters, you can buy $4 popcorn that is, it's popped fresh caramel corn. They pop caramel popcorn right before your very eyes. $4. So I love it here. And the theaters are, actually, that's considered expensive here in Panama, by the way. $4. There we go. How hard is it to move to Panama? Get on a plane with your passport, land, tell them you're sticking around for 6 months, you're buying property, stay for 6 months, tour, go everywhere, see where you want to live. And then when you buy a property, let me know, and I can get you the permanent residency, which is the golden one. It's the best one you can get, and you get it for life, just for investing in property. Let me know. But here's how easy it is. Get on a plane, land, get off the plane, start your tour. Oh, and by the way, when you get to the airport in Panama, do not buy the SIM cards at the airport. They're $25 for 3 days. You come to my neighborhood, it's $5 for a SIM card in your phone, unlimited talk, text, and data. Yes. And you always negotiate with taxi drivers before you even get in. You got to know where you are on the map. You tell them, I'm going to this neighborhood. Amigo, $10. $10. And he said, oh, no. I said, well, 10, no. And all of a sudden, they change their tune. Oh, yeah. And Colombo Cod says, you're in Colombia. Medellin is not the cheapest, but it's the best place in Colombia. Yeah. So for those who don't know what Medellin is, it's the second biggest city in Colombia, and it's spelled Medellin. So if you ever see Medellin, that's pronounced Medellin. I will see it at some point. Just right now, I'm busy making money here in Panama. But I do want to see Medellin, Bogota, and Cartagena. Those are all the cities I want to go and see. So, on car, here's an interesting one. $1 million capital gain in a holdco, and I don't pay the CRA tax. Can I sell the holdco to you? $1 million capital gain? Man, what did you sell? That would be what? $4.75 million profit? Is that? Wow, good for you. Yes, get a hold of me right now. Go to my website. In fact, if you're selling corporations to me, everybody, it's Kevin J. Johnston, my name, kevinjjohnston.biz. That takes you straight to the form to fill out. Tim and myself will get a hold of you right away. I would love to take that capital gain off your plate there. What do you think about Canada now? I think that if what do I think about Canada right now? This is me telling the truth. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, Chechens rolled into Panama and they said, we have a nuclear weapon sitting in Toronto right now. Here's the keys to turn and give us $5,000. I'd be on a plane to Toronto. I'd clack the key. I'd set it for 3 hours and I'd leave. That's what I think of Canada. I despise the place. I want nothing to do with it. The left wing runs all 5 branches of government. I have zero interest in left wing ideologies. The Canadian male is like a chick, weak, crying all the time, not achieving anything, afraid to offend. And then you got the radical feminist core out there who's convincing men they're bad for being men and convincing all women, you don't need no man, get a job, get a career, you'll be happy, don't have kids, don't do what any man says, blah, blah, blah. You got all this going on at the exact same time. Plus the economy is dead, plus the infrastructure is crumbling, plus the crime rate is 9 times what it was when Harper was in office, plus. Not interested. I'm not interested. I see zero reason to be there. I have been away from left-wing politics for almost 2 years now. In fact, in 4 weeks, it'll be 2 years since I left Canada. 2 years of none of that crap. That's why I'm rich now. My mind is completely free of all of that stupid crap. And it is stupid crap. None of it makes you money. And now you got protests all over the country. People who have never been to anywhere else besides from Canada, are protesting in favor of the Ukraine because the news said to, and Palestine because the news said to. But they couldn't find those countries on a map a year ago, making fools of themselves, not working, not starting businesses, not improving. There is a new war coming next year, everybody. Brand new one. It's going to be big, too. You think this Ukraine thing was big. This is all about Ethiopia damming off the Nile River. The Nile River, because the Ethiopians have refused to open up the floodgates on their new dam. They're filling the reservoir. The Nile River is going to drop to 1/6 of its capacity. That is going to kill crops in South Sudan and in Egypt. Egypt and South Sudan are already negotiating right now to form a pact to go to war with Ethiopia. Now, what side are you going to pick? Whatever side CBC and CNN tell you to pick. And you'll be outside protesting in favor of, I don't know what side you're going to pick yet, but you're not making money when you're doing that. Your mind is full of stupid crap that you can't control. And you're going to set yourself back years. Every time that you adopt somebody else's ideology and you fight for things or protest for things that you have absolutely zero control over, you're taking years away from your own capacity. As much as I would like to see the human race put these stupid ideas behind them and start developing new and better technology to, I don't know, travel space, figure out big reasons. Like, why are we here? That'd be a good one. I'd pay for that. But the human race won't do that. And I can't change the human race. I'm not going to take up the flag of another country and say, save this country and stop that country. It won't make me money. And talking a bit more frankly here, it won't get me laid either. It's not going to do anything for me of any benefit. As you can tell, I put on a couple of pounds. So like I'm right now about 8 pounds heavier than I should be. And walking around with someone else's flag screaming is not going to have me in the gym dropping those couple of pounds. It's just not. Got to think about this, folks. You need to know what you can and cannot control and stay the hell away from things that you cannot control that do not affect you in any way. Although I know I'm not preaching to the choir here. I know everyone's who's watching this, who's prone to being offended, will be offended by what I'm saying. And just tell me I'm wrong. And blah, 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 blah. Don't care. All right. Zipper says, there's 2 booking options on your website. Do I book the 250 group session? Well, Zipper, you could do that, but that's not going to be for 4 more weeks. There are private sessions available right now, every Monday and every Thursday for November. There are 10 slots a day that are open right now. So head on over there and grab one. If you can't see the Calendly link there, Zipper, then just contact me through the form. I'll get to you tonight, right after the show. Best way to buy a house with low income on paper. Well, we increase your income on paper. That's how we do it. There's all kinds of ways to get that done, such as contracts and secondary incomes. Okay. Moto Chris says, a company had no income or expenses for 3 years. The company did not claim GST for those 3 years. The company has no assets since they were consulting only. Now the CRA wants the assumed GST amount. Can they collect it from personal equity? Sell me that corporation. Let me take that responsibility over and I'll deal with the GST office. That's what I do. It's cheaper to just sell it to me than it is for you to waste your time doing taxes. Get that done. I want to book a consult, but the higher ticket one seems focused on corporate debt acquisition. Is there a consult or other options for personal tax issues? Yeah, it would be best then if you went with the group consultation. Those go anywhere between 3 and 4 hours. And the next one is going to be on the 29th of October. It's supposed to be the last Wednesday, of every single month. So limited space. There's only 30 people allowed in there. I give a quick half-hour speech, and then I take everyone's tax question throughout the course of the night. That's a better move for yourself, because what will happen is you're going to hear all the other tax questions as well. Best one for you, pal. If you have a large amount of cash, what's the best way to purchase property in Canada or Panama? How much cash, Jamie? Let me know. We'll figure that one out together. Okay. Can WCB make you do an assessment and use their doctors? Nobody can make you pick a doctor. No. No one has the right to pick your doctor for you. Nobody can. Is Panama safe? Well, I've been here 18 months. No one's attacked me. I got friends all over the place. People here are very friendly. It's very accommodating. There's only one neighborhood I won't go into. That's it. Beyond that, I'm fine. What does it cost for a 2-bedroom apartment? There's a whole bunch of them available for between $800 and $1,600 a month. They're nice. They are nice. It depends on what neighborhood you want to be in. If you want to be in the banking district, it's quiet there. If you want to be where all the liveliness is, then you'll be in places like Casco Viejo. Casco Viejo, as long as you jump over to Santa Ana, you could probably get away with paying about $750, $800 a month for 2 bedrooms. Oh, yeah. What kind of people live in Panama? Polite Christians. It's a Christian country. It is overwhelmingly Christian, and it is overwhelmingly Panamanian. They are very nationalistic people, which is great. So everyone's eager to fly the flag and be a part of their own culture. They preserve their own culture here, which I adore. You know what? November's coming. November's the time to be here. They have 3 national holidays here. Panama City gets shut down 3 times for 3 parades in November. Independence Day from Spain and Colombia, 2 different days, plus Flag Day, where they celebrate the indoctrination of the new flag. It's a great time. Deborah is asking, are single women safe here? Yes, they are, so long as you don't go to San Miguelito. It's the only neighborhood I wouldn't go to. And if you're in the beach towns, you're even safer. Safer than Toronto by a lot. All right, so Moto Chris is saying, oh, you're talking to someone else there, no problem. Alex says, I have a numbered corporation to sell with less than $5,000 in debt, only HST. That's fine. Alex, get a hold of me on the website anyway. Use the kevinjjohnston.biz link, fill out the form, and we'll get back to you on that one. We'll figure something out. What if you have a company that never filed a return or an HST number? So do you not have an HST number? Then what you would do is transfer the ownership of a corporation that's never done any sales to me and walk away from it. I love taking corporations over like that. Okay, I'm up to date on Instagram. Can you do with a sole I cannot buy sole proprietorship tax debts, unfortunately. Diamond Stone, you emailed me when today? Let me know, because if that's the case, it'll be within 24 hours. You've been away from Canada for 6 years. I wouldn't do a tax return now. If you haven't done one, don't do one. Absolutely not. I get the emails here all the time. Yes, I'm single. My God, no, not married. No, divorced 5 years now. It's all good. It's all good. I don't know why that's important. You know, everyone asks, and no one ever does anything with that information. All right, Robbie says, is it possible to avoid CRA non-residents withholding tax on RRSP withdrawals? Again, like I said earlier in the show, I need to know what year you did that so that I can get your taxes back for you in the following year. Can I buy a property with a mortgage in Panama? Yes, but you'll be going through a private lender. That's one of the issues here. Now, in a lot of cases, you can do vendor takebacks. I bought 3 condos on vendor takeback. It was a really good arrangement. How long does it take before we get the feedback from you with respect to what we submitted regarding tax issues? Well, that would depend. Did you do it today? 24 hours. Did you do it yesterday? It'll be tomorrow. Yeah, there we are. How would you sell a home without a lawyer or an agent? Well, you're allowed to sell a house yourself. There's that company called Purple something. They actually have a way to do it without a lawyer. That's what I would do. Ready? Carl V77. Question: can sole proprietorship GST debt be resolved? I read there's a 4-year limit on adjustments. Well, you resolve it in the following tax year by putting down a monumental amount of expenses. That's how I kill it. The answer is yes. I can kill that kind of a debt. Chopped Liver says, I was in Panama for 2 weeks and tried to see you, but I got ghosted. Well, Chopped Liver, I wouldn't have ghosted you. Did you book a time? You remember this guy? Look, everybody, I don't write my own schedule. I am not an administrator in my own company. I'm the guy that does the shows. I'm the guy that does all the research into the law, into case law, into every single new policy that the governments are bringing forward, into every policy that the CRA wants to try to change. I am investigating all the business opportunities here in Panama, all of them. I create most of the marketing campaigns. I do this show, and I do all the consultations. I don't do my own bookings. And here's the part that really gets on my nerves with a lot of people. I'm going to scold the public who think they can do it this way. I've got a team. And if I tell you to book a call with Christine or Randy or whoever, that's who you talk to. So what will happen here from time to time is that some folks will not get the answer they want from my team, who are following my instructions, bypass my team, try to get a hold of me, and then lie to me about the fact that they couldn't get a time because the staff wasn't cooperating. Don't do that. Don't do that. Follow the protocols. I've set them up for a reason. So if somebody is going to come to Panama and see me and they're trying to get me on the phone, I don't answer my own phone anymore. I've tried explaining this to everybody. I have people who answer my phone, not a calling service, not some agency somewhere. My full-time people answer my phone calls. And if you're not willing to book a consultation time and speak to the person who calls you, then I can't help you. Come on, everyone. I'm one guy. I do a lot. My day began at 5 a.m. Central Time. It is right now 9:47 p.m. Central Time, and I'm still going at it. Still. And I'm going to go at it for another hour and a half after the show, answering people's messages. So don't tell me I ghosted you. Follow the protocol. I am going to tell you, that pisses me off when you want to tell me I ghosted you. I don't know you. How could I have known you to ghost you? If you're going to ghost somebody, you've got to know them, you book a time with them, and then you don't show up, and then you never call them. The people who book consultations always get their consultation. Always. Okay, bro. So no, I don't give my phone number out. I don't. If I did that, I'd never sleep. We go through the website. Got to get yourself a consultation. We talk. I just opened up a whole bunch. 20 a week for the next 4.5 weeks. 20 a week. There's a lot of consultations available. Please grab one now. How would you sell your gold to a bullion dealer if they report transactions over 10K? Sell them 9,500 at a time. Leave the store. Come back in. Oh, hey, John, good to see you again. I got gold here to sell you. 9,500. Walk out, walk back in. Hey, John, good to see you again. I got some gold. Even the silver dealers in Canada that I was dealing with would say the same thing. Yeah, just leave and come back. As long as I walk out and walk back in, it's a brand new transaction. Do it that way. Deborah will not go to Toronto anymore, nor will I. Oh, and if a nuke goes off in Toronto, it was me. It was me. Even if it wasn't me, I'm taking credit for it. I hate that city. You've no idea how much I hate that city. It was actually very difficult for me to be married because I was married to someone who absolutely adored Toronto. I hate the place. Hate. It is really, it's a hardcore fundamentalist hate of the city. What do you do for all corporations that are in debt? Well, we'll gauge it. It's sometimes cheaper for me to buy it from you than it is to do taxes for it, but depends on what happens during our consultation time. We would find that out. Would you buy a real estate corporation with CRA debt? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Bro makes a good point. People want to be as happy and bold as you. That's why they ask if you're single. Yeah. You know the problem is there, bro? Sometimes it's guys that are asking me that. My God. No. I dig chicks. There we go. Can I keep my business name if I sold it to you so that people still know my companies? Well, yes, but the way it would work is you're going to sell me the corporation, but you get your trademark back. So if your corporation is, I don't know, Happy Cat Incorporated, and you sell me Happy Cat Incorporated, we open up a brand new numbered corporation for you, but you get the, what do you call that? What's the word there? Trademark. Thank you. Duh. You get your trade name back. So you'll be able to call yourself Happy Cat, but not Happy Cat Incorporated because I now own the corporation. Just use the term Happy Cat. So yes, we do that for people all of the time. And oh yeah, Purple Bricks was the name I was trying to remember earlier, folks. So if you want to sell your house without a lawyer, it's them. How do you qualify for a mortgage if you can't show your tax returns? Well, that's when we do tax returns, give the CRA some money, get the loan, redo your tax returns at zero. Frowned upon, but not illegal. Tim Johnson. I don't have to get so defensive. Well, you know, Tim, sometimes I do. Because when people make an accusation like that, it's bothersome from the standpoint of, I don't know you. You're telling me I ghosted you in Panama City. I wouldn't do that if you'd booked a consultation. Why would I do that? You're a client at that point. But if people are going to expect me to hang out and like, let's go paint the town red, that's not going to happen. Maybe I should explain, look, and this is not me, Tim. I'm not talking about you right now. In general, I don't think that the average person understands the sheer volume of hours that somebody who wants to be successful will put into a day. I live in a beautiful city. I live 7 streets away from a part of Panama that people fly to see once in a lifetime. And I usually only get down there once a week because I'm busy. I have no problem working a 13, 14-hour day at all. And by the time my day's done, think about this. I've done my 5K jog. I've done my gymnasium bit. I've done my 5K jog home. I've done 10 to 12 hours worth of consultations. I'm not going out. The hell with that. I'm going to chill out, put my feet up, crack. I don't drink liquor, so crack something cold. I don't know, maybe an iced tea or something like that. And I'm probably going to crash. Yeah, I think any women out there that would want to date me would find me boring. I think you really would, because I'm waking up, I'm racing out to the gym, I'm coming right back here. I'm going to work, take a 5-minute dinner break. Well, I'm talking on the phone while I'm eating. I guarantee it. Work, maybe go jog again a little bit, and my day's over. It's over. It's over. I've got good friends here in Panama, but I don't see them. I make appointments with my friends. Hey, guys, I want to hit the pizza shop on the island Sunday at 6. And it literally is me. I call my office manager and I say, book me for pizza at 6. And that means I got to be in the Uber at 5:15. My schedule actually says get in the Uber at 5:15. So my schedule is based on that. All right. And that's what entrepreneurialism is, everyone. The first 2 to 5 years of your brand new company, if you don't love what you do, then your life is going to suck. And I love what I do. So I'm not complaining. Nothing I have said about how I live my life is a complaint. I just want everyone to be realistic in their expectations of me. I'm building a business. I'm building an empire. I'm making money, and I want to make a whole lot more money. So I throw away all the good times. I think we covered this at one of my shows. It's been, it's like 18 months, almost 19 months now since I got to Panama. And it's a country with nothing but beach. And I have been now to the beach officially 14 times in that whole amount of time. And a beach visit for me, Uber, beach, hang around the beach for a bit, maybe 3-4 hours, grab a light snack, Uber, office, work. That's the beach for me. It's not a full day. So if you were dating, God, ladies, if you were dating me, I'd drive you nuts. I would drive you crazy. It's all work. Okay, cool. Bicada. I'm Canadian born. Open a few companies in Florida. They're LLCs. I run those companies in Canada. I've been told I should open an incorporated company in Canada instead. Are you declaring the income? If not, in Canada, I mean. If not, no. Just file your taxes at zero. If you are declaring the income, I got to put you into a corporation in Canada so that I can give you every write-off imaginable and keep your tax bill at, let's say, I don't know, negative. If your taxes are at negative, you never owe tax money. It's fantastic. This, hold on. I got someone who knows how to charm a guy. She says, you are perfect with this, and I would love to date you. Okay. You were warned. All right. Okay. Tim's asking me, how do we offset RSPs at 70 years of age? Great question. We open a sole proprietorship for you, which you all know I hate, but we use it specifically to absolutely crush the RSP debt. So let's say, Tim, you're going to take all your money out in June. You would call me in May. I'll get all the paperwork preset for you. You take out your RSPs. Now, you will pay the tax this year, but next year, utilizing the sole proprietorship and your new HST number, I get you back every penny. Every single penny comes back in the following year. All of them. And someone's asking here, what do we do about a large capital gain? Well, if you feel like reporting it, which I highly recommend you don't, then I'm going to put you down at a capital loss as well. You know, remember that time you lost money in crypto? I'm sure all of you did at some point. That's a capital loss. If your crypto gets stolen, the whole amount of the coin is a capital loss. And who's to say you didn't have it? And who's to say it didn't get stolen? How would anybody prove that? Yeah, good luck. Good luck. Were you an accountant in Toronto for a lot of police officers until they got audited and all fined? If I was the accountant for Toronto cops, they would never have been audited. They would never have been caught, right? Whoever did, I heard that story. And whoever was the accountant on that, those cops should kick his ass. No, what I do sticks. Rufus, yes, you are correct. What do I do if I personally guarantee a loan? Oh, all right. So if you got a corporation that you want to sell to me and you personally guaranteed the loan, then we need to put forward the application to have it transferred to me. It's 50-50. Anything that's an absolute corporate debt, I can take all of it. But if it's personally guaranteed by you, it's only 50-50 that it can come to me. Okay, everybody. Wow, that went fast. Holy smoke, did that ever go fast? I want to say thank you to everybody for being here tonight. That was an absolutely remarkable night. Lots of good questions tonight. Oh, 2 hours gone. It feels like I just sat down, but nope, 2 hours are gone. So if you didn't get your question answered tonight, no problem at all. We're going to have a lot more of these videos. This is every Tuesday, guys. We do this every single Tuesday so you can line up and get your questions answered, or you can grab yourself a consultation for the next group consult, which will be on the last Wednesday of every single month. Let's get that done. My name is Kevin J. Johnston. This is the Tax and Money Show that runs absolutely every single Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on freedomreport.ca. Thanks for being here. Have a great night.